What is it about people that makes them want others to fail? 10,000 years ago, if somebody had something you wanted, you would just take it, if you could. But today, we just sit here and watch other people have the things we want. So we wish failure on each other. So nobody has the thing we can't have for ourselves. This line from an online series spoke to me, and I bet it hits home for you too. We might not be out here physically taking things from others, like our ancestors did, but the mindset is the same, just wrapped in the comfort of modern society. We sit back, watching someone else's life unfold, and somewhere deep down, we hope for them to trip up. Why? Because their success, their accomplishments, throw a harsh light on everything we haven't done. It's a twisted irony of modern life. We're constantly connected, constantly seeing the best parts of everyone else's lives, but that connection is fake. We're more isolated than ever, and that isolation breeds resentment. Social media makes it worse, of course. You see someone getting the promotion, driving the car, dating the girl, living the life, and suddenly, the seed of envy takes root. We start wishing failure on others, not because we're inherently cruel, but because their success feels like a direct attack on our inadequacies. It's not just jealousy, it's self-preservation in its ugliest form. You don't want them to have it because it reminds you of what you don't. Now think about this. In ancient times, failure to compete meant death. You couldn't gather enough food, protect your family, or build shelter if you didn't measure up. In many ways, the stakes are still high today, just different. Now it's not about survival. It's about validation. It's about worth. And when we see someone else living the life we wish we had, it's easier to wish for their downfall than it is to confront our own shortcomings. It's like being in a race where instead of focusing on your own stride, your eyes are glued to the other runners, hoping they trip so you don't have to push harder. But here's the catch. Hoping for others to fail doesn't make you faster. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't get you any closer to where you want to be. But here's where it gets real. This mentality isn't just something that lives inside you, hidden away. There are people out there, right now, who have this mindset about you. There's someone watching what you're doing, hoping you mess up. They're the ones sitting in the back, quietly rooting for your failure because your success threatens their comfort. They don't want you to win, because if you do, it reminds them they're still losing. This isn't just hypothetical. It's real. It's psychotic even. There are people actively waiting for you to fall, so they don't have to face the fact that they're not putting in the work themselves. And what do when you realize someone is gunning for you like that? You fight back, not with them, but with your own damn progress. Because the ultimate action plan for handling these psychotic situations isn't to engage in their bitterness. It's to drown it out with your own relentless pursuit of success. You don't let them win by falling into the trap of doubt, fear, or envy. You focus on your own lane, your own grind, and you keep pushing forward. Every time you want to look sideways, don't. Look forward, double down on your efforts, and rise so high that their hope for your failure becomes laughable. You make them realize that wishing failure on someone else is the weakest move there is, and you'll prove it by showing them what real strength looks like. Imagine living under the constant pressure of having to defend your character, not once or twice, but 44 times, like Cato the Elder. Political rivals, itching to bring him down, hurled false accusations his way, hoping to catch him off guard. But instead of reacting impulsively or with rage, he employed metis, the art of calculated wisdom. He documented everything with obsessive precision, crafting his defense from undeniable facts. The truth wasn't just in his words, it was embedded in the records of his life. Every lie thrown at him fell flat when met with cold, hard proof. His political enemies wanted him to crack, but Cato stayed cool, trusting that Eubulia, wise counsel and patience, would win the day. Now, think about how this plays out today. Have you ever been in a situation where someone talks behind your back, hoping to ruin your reputation? That gut punch you feel? It's not far from what Cato faced. But instead of being swallowed by anger, imagine arming yourself with unshakable truths and a refusal to be provoked. Like Cato, the power lies not in the noise others make, but in how prepared you are to let the truth rise above it. Then there's Cicero. When he uncovered Catiline's conspiracy, it wasn't just a political threat, it was a personal one. Lies, rumors, and attempts to destabilize Rome were thrown his way, but Cicero didn't panic. No, he leaned into Parrhesia, speaking boldly and directly, not just to defend himself, but to lay the facts bare for everyone. He built networks of trust, compiled undeniable evidence, and when the time was right, made his case public in speeches that echoed through history. He didn't waste time on petty rumors. He went straight for the heart of the issue, exposing the truth. Today it's the same when people spread lies about you, especially when you're trying to achieve something big. How do you respond when the gossip spreads like wildfire? Cicero's example teaches us to collect our facts, expose lies methodically, and maintain dignity while everyone else scrambles in the mud. The world loves to watch people fall, but the truth will always stand tall if you know how to wield it. And let's not forget Pericles, who faced attacks not just against his politics, but his very person. He could have lashed out, could have fought the gossip head on, but instead, he showed sophrosin, mastery over his emotions, keeping his cool while continuing to do excellent work. Pericles knew that to respond to the noise would only validate it. He had confidence in the power of his results, letting his achievements speak louder than any rumors. When people in your life try to drag you down with cheap words, consider how Pericles handled his enemies with calm detachment, letting their slander bounce off him while he quietly made undeniable progress. You might not be building ancient Athens, but when you're grinding in silence, accomplishing things others doubted, you'll find that ataraxia, that inner peace, becomes your armor. Nothing hits harder than success that's loud enough to drown out even the loudest critic. This ancient wisdom still punches hard today. We've all been in these situations, watching people tear others down because, deep down, they're terrified of their own failure. It's like that line from an online series. What is it about people that makes them want others to fail? 10,000 years ago, if somebody had something you wanted, you'd just take it if you could. But today we just sit here and watch other people have the things we want. So we wish failure on each other because we can't have it for ourselves. The worst part is, Sometimes it's not even subtle. People come for you, throwing shade, trying to sabotage your hustle. It's psychotic, but it's real. And while it might feel like the world is stacked against you, there are ultimate action plans to handle these twisted situations, even when it feels like the hate is coming at you from every angle. Cato the Elder was a man born into the trenches of Roman politics, a self-made powerhouse in a world that valued heritage over hard work. He wasn't the privileged elite with a silver spoon. He fought his way up through grit and relentless discipline. His rise to power wasn't just about political savvy, it was about integrity. Cato stood for old-school Roman values: hard work, frugality, and accountability. Imagine yourself in his shoes for a second. You've fought tooth and nail for every inch of progress, and yet, at the height of your success, your enemies attack. False accusations swirl like vultures. But instead of losing your cool, you lay low, gathering your evidence, preparing your case, and building an unshakable wall of truth. You don't lash out because you know your integrity will outlast their lies. This is where you're headed, becoming someone who doesn't just survive but thrives under fire, letting the truth demolish any attempts to tear you down. But how? Stick around for the steps to get there. Cicero wasn't just a politician. He was Rome's voice of reason in a time of chaos. He had that rare combination of sharp intellect and a deeply moral compass. Picture this: a man whose every move is scrutinized, who could easily have become just another corrupted leader. But instead, he chose to stand against treachery. Cicero's life wasn't glamorous. He navigated the murky waters of Roman politics, often standing alone, exposed, with only his intellect and oratory skills as weapons. Now, imagine you're in Cicero's position. Everyone around you is waiting for you to fall. Your ideas, your ambitions are being ridiculed and undermined. Do you throw in the towel? Or do you meticulously gather the facts, secure a network of loyal people, and publicly dismantle the lies with nothing but your brilliance and clarity? You have that power within you, but how do you wield it when everything is on the line? Let's dive into the strategies that made Cicero untouchable. Pericles, the man who made Athens a symbol of greatness, knew what it was like to have the weight of an entire city on his shoulders. His leadership built monuments and established Athens as the cradle of Western civilization, but it didn't come without a cost. Political rivals tried to tear him down with baseless rumors and personal attacks. Yet, Pericles never flinched. Imagine yourself as him, a visionary trying to create something lasting, while small-minded people attempt to drag you into the mud. You could easily be distracted by the noise, tempted to respond to every jab. But instead, you stay focused on the bigger picture, confident that your work will speak for itself. This is the kind of composure you're capable of. Your achievements can drown out all the whispers. But how do you stay steady on that tightrope when everyone's watching, waiting for you to trip? The answer is within reach, and we're about to break it down. The challenges these men faced weren't just tests of their resilience. They were lessons in how to master the art of defense, strategy, and excellence in the face of treachery. The paths they took aren't just inspiring, they're blueprints for how you can rise above when people try to knock you down. The actionable steps to combat all forms of treachery are right around the corner, and they'll equip you with the tools to face anything the modern world throws at you. Let's get into it, now that you've stood in the shoes of Cato, Cicero, and Pericles, feeling the weight of their challenges and the fire they had to walk through. It's time to turn that historical grit into your own advantage. Here's the truth. The world today, just like in ancient times, is filled with people waiting for you to fail. They're watching, ready to pounce the moment you stumble. But here's where you can rise above and gain something most people will never achieve: real freedom, real prestige, and a sense of self that no one can touch. This isn't just about surviving. It's about standing taller, moving smarter, and achieving more than anyone thought possible. Here are the 5 steps to make sure you're the one who walks away victorious while others fall victim to the traps. 1. Documentation and evidence. When the world throws accusations at you, the first thing you need is proof. Cold, hard evidence. Cato mastered this. He kept meticulous records of every interaction, every deal, every move. It's easy to get dragged into drama when someone slings mud your way. But imagine having undeniable proof that shatters their lies. While others get caught in a storm of accusations, you have every receipt, every fact, every piece of documentation neatly laid out to defend yourself. This isn't just a defense, it's a weapon. It's your shield that turns a heated accusation into a humiliating defeat for your enemies. Picture it. While they scramble to defend their baseless attacks, you're calm, collected, and armed with truth. There's no greater power than that. The question is, are you prepared to be that sharp? 2. Focus on positive accomplishment. Here's where most people get it wrong. They get distracted. Someone throws shade, spreads rumors, and instead of keeping their head down and focusing on their work, they waste energy fighting back. Pericles never did that. He knew his greatness would outshine any petty attack. You want freedom? Focus on your mission. When you're working at your best, producing results, there's nothing anyone can say to touch you. Their words will seem hollow, weak, compared to the mountain of accomplishments you build. Imagine yourself crushing it, reaching new goals, outperforming expectations, while your critics fade into the background. That's the kind of victory that lasts. Keep pushing, keep working, and let your success speak louder than their gossip ever could. 3. Build strong alliances with honorable people. Look, no one climbs alone. Even the greatest leaders had powerful alliances. Cicero didn't just defeat his enemies through brilliant speeches. He built a network of reliable, honorable people who had his back. When things got tough, his circle was impenetrable. You need people who don't just support you, but elevate you. People who reflect the kind of person you are: strong, ambitious, ethical. When you surround yourself with a loyal network, those who wish you failure won't stand a chance. Picture the advantage of having a crew that lifts you up while others fall to the wayside. You're not just moving forward, you're moving with a team that amplifies your success. Together, you're unstoppable. Maintain ethical conduct. Here's the game changer. While others sink into underhanded tactics, you stand tall. Ethics aren't just for show, they're your guide. When Cicero faced Catiline's conspiracy, he exposed the lies with facts and never stooped to his level. The same goes for you. While everyone around you is looking for shortcuts, trying to trip you up. You'll move with such honor and strength that nothing can touch you. That's real power. When you play by your own rules and keep your integrity intact, the respect you gain is untouchable. You walk away with not just success, but respect, something no amount of lies can take from you. Fifth, let results speak louder than words. Finally, the ultimate victory: silence your critics by winning. In the end, results are louder than any words ever will be. Let others fight over petty dramas while you're out there achieving, building, growing. Pericles showed Athens that no amount of personal attacks could erase the legacy he was creating. It's not about talking a big game. It's about proving it with action. When you're hitting your targets, producing excellent work, and continually leveling up, the people wishing failure on you will fade into irrelevance. They'll be left in the dust, wondering how you kept your cool while they floundered in negativity. That's your edge. That's your power. This is your time. While others fall into traps set by jealousy and resentment, you're going to rise above it all. With these 5 steps, you'll not only defend yourself against the people who want to see you fail, you'll outshine them in every possible way. You'll have pride, prestige, and the ultimate freedom that comes from knowing that you're the master of your own fate. Now, are you ready to claim that victory?